Today I had an interesting experience with my mom. We were, she's a caregiver. She's been taking care of my dad for weeks and months at this point, and rarely gets out. So the idea was, hey, let's go out into town and spend some time doing something different. And I noticed that immediately for her, there was all this anxiety, around finding a parking space and what was traffic going to be like. And, in her memory, I think there's just a lot of stress associated with whatever it is that we were about to do. And so there's this kind of this fixation on all the things that are going to go wrong. And when I asked her, I said, hey, when was the last time you actually, went into town and were thwarted or bailed because you couldn't find a parking spot? She kind of sat there and thought, like, actually, never. I was like, okay, this is good to notice. Um, and when was the last time you actually spent more than 20 minutes dealing with parking or looking for a parking spot? She's like, actually, can't remember that ever really being a big hassle. And so I think what I was helping her to do was just separate out this idea that our mind has when we start catastrophizing or thinking about all the crazy, terrible things that could happen or might happen from what's actually been happening. And so there's something about using our rational mind to engage with some of the emotional or sensory stuff that we experience. And I think the important thing here is nowhere in the process are we saying to our emotional being, you shouldn't feel this, or you shouldn't be thinking this, or stop doing this, or stop doing that. It's really more just inserting some degree of curiosity into the equation and just saying, okay, hold on a sec. I'm feeling this anxiety. I'm worried about these things. Let me just use my rational mind for just to pose some questions or explore some things. How frequently has this happened in the past, or how many times did these things that my emotional mind is worried about actually happen? And so anyway, there's a sweet spot between acknowledging the emotional or sensory experience, and then also leveraging the fact that we do have this rational part of our mind that can drop in and just ask questions, because we need both, right? It's not just one or the other. And anyway, hope this is all making sense. I thought let's spend a few minutes today just exploring that part of us and seeing what happens when we activate these different parts of ourselves to explore situations. So close your eyes. And let's start just by feeling into the body right now in this moment. Right, we have no choice but to experience life through the lens of this body, this sensory organ, this emotional organ that we were given at birth. This is, for better or for worse, this is what we've got. So just acknowledging that and feeling into it is always the first step. We cannot experience life or ourselves without the body. It's the body telling you right now about what's happening. And the important thing here is there's no right or wrong answer, right? There's no aspect to this where we say, oh, I should be feeling this or I should be experiencing that. It's really just about relating to what is happening and noticing, oh, I have butterflies in my stomach, or I'm feeling a little like buzziness or speediness in my head. It just is what it is. And so it's really just about acknowledging this is what's up right now. And from this place, see if you can activate your memory and think of a time when you were feeling nervous or anxious or scared about something that was about to happen. Sort of something equivalent to heading into town, worried about traffic, worried about finding a parking spot, and just knowing, not knowing or having any certainty about what was going to happen. Maybe it was a job interview, maybe it was a coffee date with a long lost relative, whatever it is for you. Just see if you can remember a situation like that. And then just appreciating the sensations in the body. So the emotions, just the sensory experience of the anticipation, the fear of things not working out or being stressful. Just acknowledging that it is what it is. There's no amount of shoulding that's going to change that. Well, you should feel differently or you shouldn't feel that. It just is what it is. So that's step one. And then the rational part of our being can contribute to some levity or some insight in the situation. It's by no means the only thing. But we can, for example, pose a question and say, you know, how many times in the past have I been in this situation and have things gone awry, or if things resulted in pain or stress, and just see what comes up. If the answer is most of the time, well, then that's an amazing validation of the anxiety that the body's feeling right now. Like that sounds like a stressful, bad situation to enter into. And you maybe ought to rethink going there. The answer is, well, for the most part, things have worked out okay despite me worrying about it. Well, then that also gives us information where we can say, well, so maybe statistically speaking, rationally speaking, I'm probably in good shape. Chances are good things will be okay. No matter which way things went for you there, there's some value that this sort of rational reasoning part of you can bring to the table. But important to notice is it's just it's an exploration, it's a curiosity. There's nothing judgmental or deterministic about it, right? There's no like, oh, you shouldn't feel this or you shouldn't think that. It's really just posing the question and saying, how has this gone for me in the past? What can I learn from that? And depending on what you find there, you now have the choice of being able to say, I don't think it's a good idea to do this after all, or I think it's probably fine. My guess is we all have situations in our lives where this could be really helpful. We're shifting out of just a purely emotional reactivity into a little bit more of a sober, like, well, hold on a sec. How does this usually work out for me? And help us make some good decisions. We're not discounting or suppressing the emotional side of things, but we're also, by injecting some rational exploration into it, we're also not letting it dictate everything just because we feel it, just because we think it doesn't mean it's true or the only thing. So it's about just staying curious and open. I think that's the main thing, is just curious and open. And take a deep breath in. Slow exhale through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, chest. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, out. Relaxing the belly, the hands, the shoulders. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes, come on back. Um, yeah, I don't know. Hope that was helpful, and that it landed. And hope to see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.